Hey.
Okay, now I
Haha.
can see me, but I can't see. So,
There you
oh,
are.
there you are.
There you are. I
Jeez
see ya.
Louise, man. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah. I love it.
I don't remember why the hell we met.
Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world. What's new with you?
Nothing's been again. It's just another busy week, right? Just trying to get
Yeah.
get stuff done. You know, I got meetings next week. I'm trying to see if we can push Grasshopper into
Yeah.
maybe some of the pot shops and try to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Because it happens so fast, and then now we happened so fast. It took 3 years to get there, but we got to get pictures still.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You do things half-ass sometimes, right? Is you're just running, and you're trying to get all this shit done, and
Yeah.
so we're getting pictures done this week finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in a couple stores. It's selling,
Nice.
right? So it's
Nice.
it's it's getting there. It's getting
Nice.
there.
I like it. I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
kind of like it too. But that's been the
Yeah.
week, so it's been that, and then I've been farting around on Amazon trying to clean up our listings and trying
Yeah.
to make it make sense. But you
Yeah.
know what it's like. It's one of those things that it's funny. I posted before we came on tonight. I was on LinkedIn, and there was an article about what did the guy say? It was five, sort of like five things to think about when you're starting your own thing, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things was don't do it alone. What you even I've talked about this past, like you drag people into your world,
Yeah.
and you do that so that you can share responsibilities and mitigate the issues and stuff going. But
Yeah.
anyhow, you know
No.
what it's like.
Yeah, I do. I
You
do.
know what it's like. Like this week, if
I
you
do.
spent all your time on your web page, you get to the end of the week, you're thinking, well, fuck, that wasn't a very productive week monetarily, was it?
It's true. It's
I
true.
mean, maybe for the other people on the other side of the web page, but
I
not
know,
necessarily
right?
for you, right?
Oh my God. Well, it's yeah, I mean it's really funny, right? Like you do like I kind of love it. I kind of love it too. Like so I don't know. Like I guess I'm like week 2 really after coming back from the show and all this kind of craziness and into it, but you spend so much time looking at your own web page. Like I looked at it so many times that I couldn't. It's almost you get there and you realize like now I can't see the forest from the trees. Like
You
I have
can,
no idea whether this is good or bad
you
because
can,
I've made like 18 changes in my head, right? Because
yeah,
I can. Now I actually need like a real person to look at it that's not me, right? So I
exactly.
started, harassing some people and asking around, and then you do like physically I didn't spend all week doing it, but mentally I spent all week thinking about it, right? Like so you chew up time like that and then, you know, but yeah,
But it's all stuff
you
you
know,
have to do, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
no different than like I've got friends who are doing the same thing we're doing. I've got more and more people lately, it seems, that are leaving the 20, 25, 30-year jobs, and they want to do their own things, etc.
yeah,
And they're
yeah,
saying, well, I'm not on LinkedIn much. And I said, well, you don't have to be.
yeah,
I said, I think you should be.
yeah,
And I said, I work, I work my LinkedIn. I mean, it may appear to be a time waster to people, but I might spend half an hour a day, but I'm looking for cool things to post and to share. One, because I like
yeah,
learning. And
yeah,
two, that is part of it. Like you have to be, it's the same conversation. You got to make sure people don't think you're dead,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
got to be out there. You got to be doing that. And I said that you go to your Facebook and you do it all through your Facebook. And then you run to Instagram and you do some stuff there. And I said, before you know it, you pissed away 2 hours. But I said it's stuff that unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you I mean,
yeah,
I don't mind doing it, but it has to get done. But
yeah,
is there a
yeah,
monetary payback at that moment? No,
yeah.
not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like what you tell kids these days, right? Because all the kids go, I've got a resume, but so does everybody else. How do I make it stand out? And you say exactly the same things, which is like, look, you've got to invest in yourself and you got to invest in your brand, right? So,
Yeah,
like the kids, you would go, look, do you have a web page? Do you have passions that you're after? Like you got to show those off, right? Because you look like everybody else right now, right? So
exactly.
like, good resumes are a dime a dozen, right? Terrible resumes are a million a dozen.
Yeah,
But you really you gotta like, but even when you get there and you have a great resume, what is it? Like if you've got a web page, that makes a recruiter go, huh, like why do they have a web page? I should go have a look, right? Because might be interesting. It might net me something new, a new dimension to this person, right? But I think it's, you're right. Like the LinkedIn, the posting, the commenting, the insights, right? It drives a different dimension that makes people go, hey, you know what? Like, guy's got, some thoughts ratting around up there. Maybe,
It might be worth talking to the
maybe it
guy,
might
right?
be worth talking to
Or
that
you know
guy,
what, these
right?
are the
So,
thoughts I don't like and
yeah,
whatever. But I do
yeah,
tell the kids that too. I said, you know what, don't throw your time on a stupid resume. I said, it's honestly,
yeah,
it's important. But I said, if you learn to treat your social mediums a little differently, LinkedIn
yeah,
included, Facebook, those are your resumes. Because quite
yeah.
frankly, the piece of paper comes on my desk. What's the first thing I do?
Mm-mm.
I preview.
Yeah, because I want to know the real deal, right? Like
Because I
I
don't
don't
give a
want
shit
the
what this piece
cosmetic
of paper,
version.
exactly, this piece of paper is
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah,
I'm going to go see what you say online.
yeah,
And if I can't find you, what the fuck are you really doing online? What are you, a mafioso? Are you hiding in the bushes? Like, what's going on in the world? And then I don't trust you at all.
yeah. It's true. It's true.
So sometimes you got to be careful of that too. Don't go
Yeah,
block everything either. Because not
yeah.
think, what are you hiding?
Don't hide it all. You
Exactly. But
can't.
you should be out there.
Yeah,
And I tell my
yeah,
kids the same. I said, just understand that the first thing most of us do is creep you,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And if I know your age group, let's say, and I went to Instagram and I see, 4 pictures, I'm thinking, bullshit. Where's your real account?
yeah. I don't
Right?
buy it.
Because you guys are doing more
Yeah,
than that. I don't buy
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean, you might not be on Facebook as much as you used to be. I get that. Well, that's probably our age group,
yep,
but
yeah.
you got to have a
No, but
digital footprint out there. I mean, I
yeah,
got to be able to find you.
yeah, 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 yeah. We used to do that. We used to. Who was I doing? I was doing it for some guys my age that didn't really buy the whole. What do you use LinkedIn for? What do you use social media? And I said, look, like, here's what I'll do. Give me one of your friends. Give me a guy that you know that I don't know. I go, why do you want to do that? I go, just give me an email address and a name, or something like that, right? Or
Yeah.
where they work and their full name. And and then we sat around and I went, all right, here's what happens, right? Is like if I get this, here's where I'm going first, here's where I'm going second, here's where I'm going third. By the time I get to the fourth search, I already know like who your family is, who
Yeah.
you're hanging out with, what
Great
your
holiday.
general political views are,
Mm-hmm.
what favorite bands, you love. Like I could probably make a pretty educated guess on how many kids you have, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Yeah. And they were surprised. Like when I went through that exercise, they were kind of appalled at the footprint. I went, look, like this is just standard footprint, right? Like we have to you have to be able to find this stuff. Otherwise you don't believe the guy's real, right? Like,
Well, exactly. And if I don't
yeah,
find this stuff,
yeah,
then I'm on the other side thinking, okay, seriously, what are you?
yeah. You're
Either you're a
hiding shit.
dinosaur or you're hiding shit,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
right?
true.
Maybe that's not fair, but I don't really care, right?
Yeah.
I'm out there.
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't
if
matter.
someone wants to find me, I'm not hard to find.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I always tell people it shows that you don't have a card. I said, no, I don't have a card. I said, I'm not the
yeah,
easiest person in the world to find.
yeah,
Type in my name.
yeah, yeah. Look me
First
up.
off, there's not many Kenny Vanucci's. I said, type in the name. Bottom line, the first guy that's going to be on the
Yeah,
Google search is me. Just click on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It'll pretty much tell you everything you want to know. And if
yeah,
not, you can link. You can flip around all over the place. You'll know
yeah,
what I'm doing,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
But brands need to do that too, right?
yeah.
Shops need to do, and that's where I don't know why I was thinking about your pet people this week. It was the same thing. You know what it probably was because I was probably listening to our podcast. Sometimes I do like to listen,
Yep.
see how we sound. If we
Yeah.
sound completely simple, or if we actually say some smart things once in a while.
We try and sound smart every now and then.
Well,
Yeah.
once in a while, I might not make it like it. See, that we're fakers too, because the people that really know us know that we're really not that smart.
Yeah. It's
But
true.
I was listening and I thought, this is sort of what you got to tell the little brands. And even the one I was talking to yesterday, those power bites or whatever you want to call them, was
Mm-hmm.
the same idea. Like it's all part of it. Like you gotta get out there. You gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't do much with Grasshopper until we have some nice professional pictures,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
again, typically this should have been done prior to launch, but it's just the way the launch went.
Yeah.
That it just didn't get done, right? And it's
Yeah.
a small brand. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not Johnson and Johnson here at Novartis.
Yeah.
This is a little
But
brand,
but
but
it's a legitimate. It's actually like if you're a brand, like this is a legitimate logistical issue, right? Because usually when you do packaging, you don't you get to see renderings and you get to see digital samples, but you don't actually get the real, you don't get the real deal until they run it
Not if
off
you're doing
the line,
small runs like we're
right?
doing. We're doing
Yeah,
small runs. We're not doing a million bottles.
yeah, yeah,
Like we did 200
yeah,
cases. These guys aren't running mock-ups on,
yeah,
if you're running 200, million bottles of Tylenol,
yeah,
yeah, they're, by the time
yeah.
they get
It's
100,000, they're a
yeah,
week in. You got samples.
yeah,
We didn't have that, right?
yeah,
You got them the day you got them.
yeah. Yeah, and I think like brands need to know that, right? Is it's actually a legitimate concern. Like you are going to run into, like, I actually don't think it's a half-ass thing. I just think like even the way it unfolded for you, it's not unreasonable to be where you are and not have pro pictures yet, right? Because it's just like, you know, that's the
For a
way
small
production
brand,
goes, right?
probably not, but it
Yeah,
slows everything.
yeah,
So do I have presentations ready? Not really. Why? I only have three of the four brands. The other one,
right.
three or four SKUs. The last SKU came in yesterday. Can I do a presentation? Well, no, because I don't have great pictures.
Yeah,
Right? How's the
yeah,
web page look? Well, not great. You know why? I don't have real pictures.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So it does slow down all that other stuff. But what
yeah,
doesn't slow down is the clock ticks
yeah.
on the best before date.
Aging. Yeah,
Um, the clock's ticking on, we owe money.
yeah,
So it's all those things. But
yeah,
as a small guy, that's sometimes the shit you kind of have to you have to be thinking about, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, man, I met some really cool folks this week. So I, I'm tired. I've been hustling. I've been hustling to kind of you know, Kenny and I were talking before this. We were laughing because I've had all these technical problems recording tonight. But one of the things we were laughing about was just like the the amount of like how tired I am, right? Because I'm on my own and unemployed, and yet I'm more tired than I ever was before. But I think it's like I'm going about. I think I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, but I think I am. Of kind of getting the word out there, right? So I've had some neat chances to spend some time. One guy I spent time with is a company called Askuity, and Askuity does point of sale data. So
Okay.
they are kind of like a new slick platform that you do data, that ingests data and kind of spits it out for you as a brand or as a retailer. Um, they're a little bit like the AC Nielsen's of the world, except that
Okay.
except their pricing is reasonable, and they have really great platforms. You don't need like a million hours of training to you know, to kind of pull data.
Yeah.
And so I spent some time with them, and they're amazing folks, based in Toronto. They're a Toronto startup, and they have some pretty serious customers. A lot on the hardware, you know, kind of. They've got some beauty products. They spam right into home goods and stuff like that, but really cool. Like, you know, Kenny and I were talking about how I think a couple of episodes ago about how important it is to know your data and be able to read that stuff. And if you hated it, you could ping us with it. The Askuity guys are really cool. Like they pull. We're actually going to do a webinar together. We're going to do. I think we're trying to decide whether we do like how data plays into a day of the life of a buyer, or you know, or I think the other one was thinking about like Monday morning metrics that make your buyer cranky. Um, you know, because I was joking
Yeah.
about how I wasn't actually. I was laughing. I was fondly reminiscing about how I'd really sweat it out like Monday mornings, right? Like when I called on Walmart and you knew that Walmart was, you know, like every Monday morning, they'd be running their numbers. And what I was doing was running my numbers going, God, I hope I don't see an out of stock, or I hope I don't, I don't see my profit number drop or my turns
Yeah.
drop. Like, you know, because if it does at by 10:30 in the morning, I'll have had a couple of nasty emails and probably a phone call, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if everything went smoothly, I'd probably get a call around 1:30, you know, also yelling, but for this week's, you know, like this week's
Yeah.
submissions
Yeah. Yeah.
for stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez,
Yeah.
I see. I loved Monday mornings for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I used to get so excited. I get reports still sent from vendors I represent
Yeah.
for London. So every Monday I get the download of what the POS was like for the week,
Yeah.
buy units in the stores. I just love it. They start pinging, ding, 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 ding. Oh, it's all good. I love looking at it.
I really liked it as a buyer. I really hated it as the sales guy. Like I think I sweated every Monday, because like so when I was my first sales job, I was at Danone and I was and I sold yogurt at Walmart. And the guy I had with Walmart, the buyer he was a really great guy. He really smart, like really tight on his business, but he was an experienced buyer. And so the first day I met him, he was like, I'm not here to fucking babysit anybody. So you get your
Yeah, the
shit in
usual
order. And
speak.
I was like, yes, sir. I haven't done anything yet. I'm sorry, sir. Like, and he used to ask me
Uh,
that all the time. Like every time that we talk about stuff, he'd be like, what are you new? And I'm like, yeah, I'm new.
yeah,
Stop yelling at me. Like,
stop screaming at me. That's awesome.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll do something like that. So I met those guys this week. They are super cool. I hung out with Ecobee this week too, the automated thermostat guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're so cool. They're so cool. They have some cool stuff coming, but they wanted it's a really neat thing, Kenny. They wanted buyers' perspectives, so they said to me, "Would you come in, spend an hour with us?" We're like, "Sure, no problem." What do you want to know? And they've got they've got
I
this cross
lost you.
functional group. Oh, are you there,
No.
Kenny?
Are you
Are
there?
you
Oh,
there?
there you are.
Yep, there you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like they've got this really neat cross-functional group that really wanted to learn more about retail. So they had me come in and kind of role play, what a buyer looked like. So they were doing some pitching. It was kind of funny. It's kind of funny. They're like, really? And they're showing me packaging, and I was telling them about how buyers really hate brands that try and steal too much market share on shelf. Do you know? Like
Yeah.
that, like the classic, it's twice the size it really should be because they wanted to steal real
Yeah.
estate on the shelf. And he said, "Ooh, tell me how you'd say that." All right, if you want to hear it in the buyer's voice, he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I want to hear it." And I go, "I'm not fucking putting this out there." And he was like, "Really? You'd say that?" I go, "Oh yeah." Like, and
Oh,
I think this is
absolutely.
the kind version. This is just
Exactly.
me. Like, I'm pretty sure more experienced buyers would be much worse. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm putting this out there. Like half
Oh, I
it
used to spell out. I
or
look at
go
people say,
away. Like I don't fucking
yeah.
care. Like, this is
I look at people
bullshit.
say, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah.
I had one guy come in and goes, look at my package. I said, yeah, it's great. I said, you got 8 SKUs.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can put 30 of someone else's brand. Who the hell are you? There was a coffee company at one time, right? I said,
Yeah.
you're 2.5 times a normal bag of coffee.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to give you
Yeah.
all this fucking real estate because
That's
I'm a nice guy?
that's just
And I'm a pretty nice guy, but I said, that's
greed.
stupidity. I
Yeah.
said, you got to, I said, he goes, but I said, it sure looks good. I said, if you make it a billboard, it looks good too, but I can't put it in the store.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
think a little bit. I said, why would I give you so much shelf space?
Oh god. It was so good.
Knuckleheads.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
that's good that they're doing that. At least they're doing that before they get
yes.
too far into it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was neat. I mean, it was neat because the group had a real thirst for knowledge. Like said, there were graphic designers in the group who had never done retail, right? And so I walked through like really simple things like planograms and what planograms are supposed to look like. They gave me packaging and what are you thinking about? And I said, look, like if I'm looking at packaging for the first time, you're talking and all I see in my head is like the only things I want to know first is like what's your price point, what's my margin, and then I want to know how many are packed in an inner case or a case
Yeah. How much
that I'm going
inventory
to
is
have
this
to
going to
take, right?
cost me?
Because yeah, like is it going to go on shelf, is it what's it going to cost me, how many times am I going to have to ship this into the store, like all that kind of stuff. And you're still talking blah 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 blah, but I'm not
Oh, I've left you a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm already like operationally trying to figure out like, is this worth any room in my warehouse? Like, should, like, can you do this DSD? Like, can I just, do I even need to take this item? Where does it fit? Where would I put it? Like, who does it go beside? Like all of
exactly.
those sort of things, right? Like,
And what they don't understand, if
yeah.
the packaging wasn't good, then I'm really thinking about, geez, I'm kind of hungry. Like, what am I going to do for lunch?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that appointment this afternoon. Do you know
Yeah.
what? Geez,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
long weekend. Why are you still talking? Who are you?
Yeah. And then the next thought is like, okay, at the next moment he takes a breath,
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm gonna
shut this
tell him no
down.
thank you.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
And
going to
then
shut this
and
down.
then he goes for another 8 sentences. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna wait. So you know what? I'll have a look at it, but sorry, not right now. You should go now.
Yeah, realistically,
Right?
this isn't
Like,
going to happen now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. I've done enough of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, hey, but that's part of it, though, right?
It is.
Well,
It
that's the thing
is
that
for
people
sure.
don't understand is that you do. That's the shit you kind of go through. You're trying
Yeah.
to, you're trying to balance time, right? But I'm kind of impressed that at least they're doing that. Before they get too far into it, they're calling someone to say, okay, pretend you're a buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you were a buyer. Pretend you're a buyer, and
Yeah.
what would be the process? We'll
Yeah.
pick it apart,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
better than having to pick apart by me when I'm actually when I used to be sitting down actually buying,
Yeah.
because at that point you're kind of late,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
It's
seriously,
true.
I've had so many people. I said, listen, this packaging is not going to work.
Yeah.
Here's why. Bang, bang, bang. They're thinking, what am I going to do? I said, well, that's really not my problem now, is it?
Yeah. No.
I said, if you had asked me a month before this,
Yeah.
I would have told you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told them. So I said, leverage people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do things on your own.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's an
I mean,
industry out there, ask people.
I'm curious how you feel about this too. Because I had said to them, look, like you need to kind of pick the magic moment, but when you're through prototypes and you're into almost final design, but you haven't baked everything yet, it might be a really good time to bring in a buyer and just sell them the vision, and then get them engaged in the vision, and then get them engaged in, look, here are the like 99% made prototypes, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's what the packaging is supposed to look like. Do you have any comments? Like, maybe I have a small window to make some changes. And they were like, is that weird? Like, what happens if the
No.
buyer shits over everything? And I go, look, like, I think buyers are smart enough people to know, like, they want to have some say over what you're doing, but they're also not going to re-engineer your business, right? Like, that's not what their model is. So, like, to get them in and get them excited gives you a strategic partner, because maybe then they can see things that you won't. Like, oh,
Exactly.
cool, I can totally fit you in here. I can fit you in there. I,
Exactly.
I could build a promo around you that'd be super cool, or like things like that. That you know,
Again, that's why you take. I used to have vendors. I would tell them, I said, listen, before you get, like you said, before it gets completely baked, I
hmm
said, just write me off a PDF or a JPEG. I'll take a look at
hmm
it for you.
yeah,
I'll give you a couple pointers of a couple last minute things,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
there's a lot of times you look at it and the package was outstanding, but I didn't know what it was,
yeah,
right? Because your colors were awesome and the look was awesome, but I'm thinking, what is it?
yeah,
And they're thinking, well, and I said, no, it doesn't say cereal. It doesn't say granola. I said, I have no idea what the hell this is. I said, yeah, your packaging's stunning,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know what you are.
yeah,
I said, you guys missed the basics.
yeah,
A couple quick things, right?
yeah,
Or you move the important to, let's say it was gluten free at the time or whatever. Put that to the front, or put a
yeah,
symbol, or. But
yeah,
I think people should leverage that more. I
yeah,
mean, I still do it for a lot of friends. They'll send me stuff. What do you think? And I'll run it through. And not,
yeah,
again, like you said, I'm not going to ask someone to reinvent the wheel.
yeah,
And
yeah,
typically you don't need to, but I'll go through and tell them that.
yeah, yeah,
You forgot this, you forgot this. If it was me, I don't know. This is what I would look at, and walk them through it. Why not?
yeah. I think the ones that I probably appreciated the most is the ones where the buyer went, are you gonna are you gonna make this so I can peg it? Are you gonna make it,
Yeah, how am I
you
merchandising
know what
this?
I
What's
mean?
it
Like,
coming
the
in?
merchandising ones are the ones that are really cool, right? Because then you
Absolutely.
you really get some opportunity. Like I said to these guys, the same thing is like, if you have an option to put that little you know, peg, the little peg hole,
Yeah,
or like
do a
a
fifth
little,
panel.
yeah, right. Like, that is, you should do that every time. Like, it costs you nothing, right, to put that
Exactly.
in the design, but it allows the buyer to do so many things with that, right? Like they can put them on
Absolutely.
side panels, they can put them, at checkout, they can do all sorts of
Yeah,
things like that, that allow you to have augmented selling,
you
options.
sure?
So
But even back to your stock packs. The stock packs are critical. I've
yeah,
got so many people say, I said, "What's stock pack 24?" I said, "You
yeah.
guys,
Are you
it's a
insane?
$12 cost.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're asking a little guy to take $288."
yeah,
I said, "They're not going to do that." Well, what do you
yeah,
mean? I said, "The box issue is yours. It's not mine. That's your problem."
yeah,
I said, "All I want," I said, "get this into a 6."
yeah,
I said, "If you have to charge a dollar more, charge a dollar more. Nobody's going
yeah,
to know." I
yeah,
said, "But at least you're turning it.
yeah,
It's comfortable." Because I said, otherwise, man, it can be expensive to buy stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And why would you do that to somebody? You've eliminated most of your market.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's true.
again, those are quick questions. You just ask a buyer. That's first thing what you go through.
Yeah,
It's always the same. What's it going to cost me? What's my retail? What's my margin? What's stock pack?
yep, yeah,
After while you're looking at it to figure out what the hell it is, and how long did it take me to figure out what it is? Because I'm alone in the office with you right now, one on one.
yeah,
If it takes me 15 seconds, what do you think is going to be in the store with a
yeah,
thousand SKUs?
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I was laughing about that too. I don't know if you do that. I used to bring my analyst. I had this like really great girl named Shannon who's just so quick and bright. She'd come to all my meetings and I would laugh because I would say, like, when you guys are talking, if a buyer's in there with an analyst, the after you start talking, like you'll think it's incredibly rude, but you won't say anything, but you'll see the buyer and the analyst kind of like put their heads together and then talk like alien language for about a minute and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
I said that's them, the two of them doing exactly that, right? The logistical exercise of like, where do I put this? What will it cost me? Do I think it'll turn? Where
If
should
anything,
we
you should be excited at
go?
that
Like,
point because if
yeah,
we're thinking that hard,
yeah, yeah,
it's because we're intrigued by this thing. Now we're
yeah,
thinking, okay, yeah, you can keep rambling. We've
yeah,
already sold. We're already bought in a lot of
yeah,
ways.
yeah,
We're just
yeah,
trying out to figure out how to do this,
yeah. It's true.
right?
It's true. Yeah,
But again, that's things you can teach people before they go in. I mean, there is a science to
yeah,
there's a science to
absolutely.
going to see how to present to a buyer,
Yep,
right? And
yep,
and what questions are you going to ask, and and how are they going to there's certain talk you use. I mean, that's just how it works, right?
yep,
Just buyers think differently
yep,
because their game is different,
yeah,
right? They're trying to figure out where to put the stupid thing, or if to put the stupid thing.
yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
You know,
Anyway, so I both of those were super cool this week. Like just really cool meetings, and the Ecobee thing may or may
you got
not
cool stuff
ever,
going on, and I'm just doing
yeah,
peanut butter and cereal.
dude,
I don't
man,
have fun. I don't have
you
high tech
you've
things.
this new launch thing going. What are you talking about? That's amazing.
I know, but it's already old. Now I got so many other things to
You're
go on.
hilarious, hilarious.
No, I
Oh
gotta
man,
wait. I can't do anything until my stupid pictures come.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Very
hear
frustrating. Very frustrating.
you. Oh man,
And
um,
you know what it's like, right? There's 50 fires to put out.
yeah. It is. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's always so many things to do. Um, you know what? I had a question for our listeners actually, because I plugged in. So I plugged in thiscommercelife.com to Google Analytics. Anyone can sign up for Google Analytics. So I signed us up,
Yeah.
so I could figure out, you know, who's coming here and who's
Who the
not.
5 people that listen to us, where they're from,
Yeah, and why
outside of
won't
your house to
they,
my house.
yeah, why won't they click on things and do things? So, um, and right now as I'm trying to look at it, I can't see it. But so I started to do this, and I think I'm really curious as to how as folks are looking at the web page. I guess I'm wondering, what you're looking at. We actually get a fair bit of traffic every month on the page. We do get some questions, but not a ton. So I guess I'm wondering, is our listener base just super content and happy to listen to us and have no questions? Or is there something on the website that kind of makes them crazy
Maybe
or
happy to
gives them,
post the questions.
yeah, or doesn't resonate. You know what I mean? So if you're a listener, we would love to know. This is part of iterating, right? Is this whole idea of like we put it up, the site's powered by GoDaddy, right? So there's tons of ways to like manage it and kind of plug in pieces and take pieces out, but the analytics says that you guys are going there, but you're not clicking buttons or moving stuff around. So I'm super curious to how you guys feel about the page, or is there something that makes you crazy about it? Things like that.
Well, now
Um,
I'm looking at it.
yeah, yeah. Don't yell at me too much. I might cry on the podcast.
You don't have an ounce of sensitivity in that body. What are you talking about? You were a buyer. We don't cry.
I have feelings too.
Whatever.
Well,
Buyers don't have feelings. What the hell do we ever give a shit about? Nothing. People used to.
it's
How
true.
many of your vendors said we're barely human?
It's true. It's true.
And then I'd go home and cry as I felt bad. Feelings.
uh,
I've cried for things before. I'm a pretty
feelings.
sensitive person.
I have feelings.
Exactly.
Oh
This thing's
man.
not loading.
Yeah, I don't know why the I had the analytics all plugged in and everything, and then it's oh, here we go. Yeah, so I mean, that's really funny. Right now there are 2 active users on our website.
Yeah, me
That
and
would
you.
be me and you.
Exactly. We're fourth,
Oh
two fifths of our
God,
listener
the
base.
numbers are inflated, Kenny, because we're on our own
Exactly.
site,
This is what we
screwing up
do.
all the analytics.
Amelia's asking,
Um,
she goes, so you get a lot of downloads? I said, yeah, Phil and I are downloading every day.
yeah,
I said,
download
we're
all the
skewing the
time.
numbers. We look like rock
Yeah,
stars.
Phil's really close to automating the download, and then we're gonna blow this
Exactly.
thing out of the water.
Oh, yeah, it's out of control then.
Ah. All right, that's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.